Japan just created universal artificial blood that works for all blood types, and it's purple. Scientists at Nara Medical University developed purple blood that eliminates the need for type matching.
This is a ritual happening right before your eyes. These beings, they do exist. With the face.
People.
Oh my God.
Yo, welcome back to the channel, gang. We're back at it with some creepy and interesting TikToks that will make you question everything. And before we dive in, hit the sub button and let's go.
No.
You didn't?
No. Can I explain that?
Yeah, please.
Because people think that the psychic is helping. I believed I was helping people for those moments that they were connecting through their grief. They were grievous, they're lonely. Even the people that were just looking for the job or, you know, needing guidance or insight. It's not helpful because you're including them in a demonic practice. You're deceived and you're helping to deceive them. The devil's he used me as a pawn, and that's what he uses psychics as, a pawn to do his dirty work. And then once that person has come for the reading, now they've opened the demonic door. And then you want to talk about some scary business, demonic oppression. Possession is rare. Yeah. I know that's a whole big thing. But
we had a long interview with an exorcist. And there's a distinction here between demonic possession, vexation, oppression, temptation, which is the most common one of them.
But that is a consequence that's guaranteed once you open the door to the demonic. It's guaranteed. However, it's going to, I always say that the devil attacks, the demonic attacks are personal. Just like Jesus died for us personally, we have a personal faith with him, those demonic attacks are personal because what's going to get to me is going to be different than what gets to you, right? So whether it's anxiety, confusion, the sleep paralysis, the nightmares, doubts, things start going wrong in your life because, listen, the devil doesn't care about you. He doesn't care about you. He hates God and he hates man. He's willing to give you a little bit of what you want for now and let you pay the price, let you pay the consequences of it. So it's really a very dangerous thing. So you're not helping anybody when you're a psychic at all.
I'm happy she's no longer doing that psychic gig, but whoever she did fortune telling for should see that video. It looks like the construction workers got fired mid-build because the whole back portion is missing.
Language is full of curses and spells, hence why we learn how to write in cursive and how to spell in grade school. Each week we awake in the morning to go to our jobs, on the weekdays to earn a living. The translation of that, trance, T-R-A-N-C-E, awake is a funeral for the dead. Mourning is what you do when you lose a loved one. You have to be in a weekdays to earn a living, since earn is the ashes, since earn are ashes for the dead, and job is Hebrew for persecution. And at the end of this, we get the weak end of the deal, and we're weakened.
Well, instead of doing a rain dance, we physicists are firing trillion-watt lasers into the sky to actually precipitate rain clouds and actually bring down lightning bolts. This is potentially a game changer.
But this is experimental.
It's experimental. However, in the laboratory so far it works. When you have water vapor and you have dust particles or ice crystals, you can precipitate rain. It condenses around the seeds. These seeds can also be created by laser beams. By firing trillion-watt lasers, you rip apart the electrons, creating what are called ions, and these ions act like seeds, like dust particles, bringing down rain and even lightning.
Go ahead.
Well, this fascinates me in part because, too, I remember reading the stories that China had used this during the Olympics, that the USSR had used this after Chernobyl to create rain clouds. I mean, did those really work then? We have some of these capabilities now?
Inconclusive. Even in the 60s, the CIA used this to bring down monsoons during the Vietnam War, to wash out the Viet Cong. Governments have been playing with this thing.
Alleged to.
Alleged to, right.
Yeah.
Now, we realize that for decades now, these governments have been alleged to have experimented with weather control, but nothing conclusive. This time we're bringing in the laws of physics rather than simply waving our hands and uttering mumbo-jumbo. We're actually using trillion-watt lasers now. And in the laboratory, sure enough, they precipitate rain out of water vapor. Sure enough, you can actually bring down electricity down the beam.
I understand HAARP's involvement in weather modification might be inconclusive, but they might be in the background moving all the chess pieces.
Before you decide to have a baby and want to come up with a name, you might want to look at this list because they just banned certain names you can't have in the U.S. These are the baby names that are now illegal in the U.S., as you can see. I don't know who would want to name their baby that, but okay. Even that. And what the fuck is that? Now, the first two names on the list, King and Queen, why can't I name my son a King, or why can't I name my daughter Queen? Am I missing something? So according to the courts, they said those names are too powerful, are too religious, or just a title rather than a name. But that's my child. I should be able to name my child whatever I want to name my child, right or wrong. I feel like them trying to ban names is just the beginning. Trying to tell people what they can and cannot do. Like, they trying to take away all the power. Just starting with the names, y'all. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about this down below in the comments. This shit crazy, fool.
Naming your kid Jesus Christ and the Messiah is borderline blasphemy. Naming your kid this is definitely a no-go, but the rest is free game.
Okay, so hold up. Now you're telling me not only do we have plasmoids in the sky and drones searching for the plasmoids, but now we have a vortex under the ocean where another civilization has been living for generations? I feel like every day I wake up to something new and something crazy, but at the same time, something that I believe because I believed it in my core being for my entire life. But these creatures apparently were discovered. An investigation under the water happened, and they found this civilization that's been there for decades. At what point are we going to get photographs and like HD video of all of this? Because I can see it in my mind's eye, but I need to see it and I need physical proof of it. So have you guys heard of this civilization that's now under the water?
That entire video looks to be AI generated, but let me know what you guys think.
These higher elites drink human blood to get high, and just how can stimulate you and make you feel on top of the world. Drinking human blood could give you a greater feeling. In particular, they want the human blood from children in fear. And I will try to explain the science behind that briefly. Now, as a child, your blood is more pure, but if they can instill fear in you before they kill you, all that adrenaline that comes from the fear, it ends up in the blood that they take from you. And when you drink it and consume it, all that adrenaline just build up and it gives you like a supernatural high, like you could astral project and other things.
Hotels throw out millions of bars of used soap every week. But they don't have to go in the trash. Today, Sean Siepler's company, Clean the World, runs a factory that can handle thousands of bars an hour. The used soap comes from thousands of hotels around the world, adding up to about 1.4 million rooms. A giant machine called a refiner cleans the dirt and hair from the top layers, pushing out uniform noodle-like strands from all the differently sized bars. Those strands get heated and mixed with a solution of water and bleach for 7 to 8 minutes to sanitize them. A conveyor belt brings the sterilized mix to a final refiner before it gets molded. A long bar of recycled soap rolls out from the extruder as it's cut into individual bars.
I'm bringing my own hand soap the next time I go to a hotel.
Let's tell y'all true story, Beast Boom. Watch this video to the end. I don't know, but this ghost looks real. This video is for entertainment purposes only. Let's...
Excuse me. Are you back there again?
Who turned that water on? Who did that?
It's become a favorite spot.
It's not a game.
And there he is.
Shh.
Okay, that's enough water, please.
Turn it off, man. That's not real. Come on.
Everyone can see you in the reflection, bud.
Look.
Everyone can see you in the reflection.
It's not a game.
And it's gone.
Where is he? Where is he?
Okay. I know he's not in here. But I just want anyone who's watching to see.
He can't fit in there.
This is too small. I just
Get out.
It's not.  'Cause.
Who turned that water on? turned on twice. Did you see that shadow? He walked in there. No one was in there. Stop playing with me, son. This video is for entertainment purposes only. I don't know what that guy's talking about, but that was somebody, and you know where they went? They went out the window. Shh. Shut up! I don't know, guys. But that kind of looked kind of real to me. But let's not forget, it's a video. Anything could be green screen and special effects. Stop playing with me, son. It's not a game right here, guys. You know what time is it? Shh. Shut up! Turn your water off. Let me know if somebody's gonna turn it back on. Especially if it wasn't you. But guess what? It doesn't matter, because you know why? That was motion detection water. Stop playing with me, son. It's not a game right here, guys. You know what time is it? Shh. Shut up! But I tell you one thing. If I ever go to my kitchen and I turn my water off and I walk away and it turns back on, bro, you got half on this water bill?
I'm not sure if this is real, but the cameraman was having too much fun with this. I would have put the house in the market the same day.
This might be one of the most dangerous ways to make bread. In parts of Armenia, bakers use a traditional method where dough is stuck to the walls of a deep clay oven. When the top fills up, they lean dangerously close to the fire below, sliding their body inside just to press the dough in place using layers of cloth.
If you don't have gymnastics experience and your flexibility is not A1, don't apply for this job. If you know what this image means, let me know in the comments.
Trader Joe's is a fake healthy place.
Facts.
They actually have these like frozen, I've seen it on TikTok actually, they have these frozen TV dinners and like these burgers that are really like, they don't biodegrade at all. And like a lot of other foods that, and that's the thing, like Trader Joe's, they actually have their own in-house manufacturer. So that's another thing.
Talk about it, because you notice the shit you find at Trader Joe's, you can't find at Whole Foods, you can't find at Sprouts.
Right.
There's a reason for that.
Right. So being that they have their own in-house, they can kind of control their own, you know, like what they put in it, what they take out, like how much ingredients and all that stuff. What the f? So like, are we going to get so far down the road to where we're not even eating real food, which I don't think we are at this point.
It's going like this way.
What is that?
It's an airplane? It's not going in a straight line though. I'm scared.
It's like, I don't know.
I think an airplane would be going faster.
Yeah, it's barely moving.
You look like a seal. I want to be sad.
It's
too
like,
high for a drone, isn't it?
huh?
It's too high for a drone.
Dude, it's doing all kinds of weird stuff. Look at that. It's doing all kinds of weird stuff.
It kind of looks like someone in a full astronaut outfit.
Japan just created universal artificial blood that works for all blood types, and it's purple. Scientists at Nara Medical University developed purple blood that eliminates the need for type matching. Whether you're A, B, AB, or O, this artificial blood works on everyone instantly. Here's how they did it. They take hemoglobin from expired donated blood and wrap it in protective synthetic shells, creating virus-free, artificial red blood cells that are actually safer than real blood. Regular blood lasts 42 days in the fridge. This artificial blood, 2 years at room temperature, 5 years refrigerated, that's 24 times longer. Think about the impact. Paramedics could carry universal blood that doesn't need refrigeration and works on anyone. No more people dying because the wrong blood type wasn't available during emergencies. They're in phase 2 human trials right now, testing up to 400 milliliter doses on volunteers. Phase 1 proved it's completely safe with only mild side effects. Commercial availability is targeted for 2030. This solves blood shortages, eliminates infection risk, and ends mismatched transfusion deaths. Japan will be the first country with commercial artificial blood. Emergency rooms, ambulances, and military medics worldwide could have instant access to life-saving blood that never expires. We're looking at saving millions of lives globally. The fact that it's purple makes it even more futuristic. In 6 years, this could be flowing through emergency rooms everywhere. Would you infuse this artificial blood in your system to save your life?
Yeah, that's a no for me. I mean, for all we know, this could have nanotechnology, have us walking around like human computers.
Yeah, this is Balenciaga's brand new design, latest innovation, the tape bracelet. Yes, a bracelet of tape, clear tape, for $4,500.
Yes, you guys heard that correctly. Balenciaga has lost every grain of sense and made a tape bracelet retailing for about $4,000. Let's start with the positive by saying at least they were smart enough to leave the kids out of this one, because we wouldn't want another sticky situation outside of this tape. Now let's get into my thoughts, because you know I have some. As someone who works in the fashion business and also develops product, this is actually blasphemy. In a development cycle, this would start off as a sketch, this would get specification, this would go through multiple sample rounds, and it would have to get a final approval. So all of that to say, if this is the best we could come up with, the bar is down there with Beelzebub. It's down there in the fiery pits, and if that's the case, we have to throw the whole brand away. I get eccentricity, I get creativity, but this is lazy. In one of the articles I read about this, it said Balenciaga is a social experiment of selling rich people senseless stuff, and I have to agree. You know, I never tell you what to do with your money, besties, but for that price, treat yourself to a six-pack at Staples. I'm afraid to even ask, but besties, will you be participating in Balenciaga's latest trend? Let me know in the comments, and shout out to the bestie Sean for the tip. Bye.
If I get my roll of duct tape and write Balenciaga on it with a Sharpie, I can probably sell it on eBay for a chunk of money.
People.
Oh my God.
Yeah, who'd have thought?
Let's talk about the Chuck E. Cheese reused pizzas. There are a ton of videos out there stating that Chuck E. Cheese reuses their pizza slices. In the Chuck E. Cheese ads, their pizza looks pristine, perfectly circular, all of that, right? When you pull up to Chuck E. Cheese, you get this. Pizza is supposed to be perfectly circular. It doesn't have to be a perfect circle, but you get the point. There's no reason for those slices to be uneven. Like that one, like all the way up here, why is it so pushed in like that? There was an old Shane Dawson video about this before he got canceled and everything. It was basically stating that the pizza that you don't eat, the workers will take back and put together a pie from those reused slices. So you basically bought a used pizza. I've been to Chuck E. Cheese like 2 or 3 times growing up and stuff like that. I really never paid attention to how symmetrical the pizza was. But there's so many videos of people pulling up to Chuck E. Cheese and the slices literally come out all looking like this. Usually I don't believe these theories, but this one is very believable because why does it look like that? I can't stop looking at it. It's like when you order 2 pizzas and you finish half of each and then you just put them in the same box and put them in the fridge. This is what this looks like. What are your thoughts, my Chuck E. Cheese goers? Let me know.
I don't think I've ever had a Chuck E. Cheese pizza, but getting a pie with slices of different sizes is diabolical.
A lot of you think this is just a fashion show. It is not. This is a ritual happening right before your eyes. These beings, they do exist with the face. This is not a fashion show, y'all. All rituals. Telling y'all.
Imagine getting invited to a fashion show, but when you get there, you feel like you're at a Halloween party. That's crazy.
What's that ring on your finger?
It's a camera.
Oh, God.
I'm looking at you.
Can you turn it off, please?
Nope.
I don't like cameras on me.
It never goes off.
I don't like cameras on me.
This is a certain angle.
That's a bad angle. I like the camera to come from the front if they're going to be on me.
I'll do it like that then.
Thank you. Hi.
It never turns off.
Okay. Are you just going to hold your hand like that the rest of the interview?
You want me to?
It's your camera.
I'll turn it off.
Thank you.
But I'll turn it back on.
Okay.
Then I'll turn it off.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate you doing that.
This is going to be controversial, but it has to be said. At the last congressional hearing, Representative Luna asked David Grush, did he know about any agreements that were made between people in the United States government and non-human intelligence?
Eisenhower made a deal with these beings to do what? Trade human beings for technology. How does FaceTime work? Nobody really knows, right? So the first FaceTime call was in Germany, 1936. AT&T had it in 1971. Going all the way back to the first electric car, Baker Industries. This is in the 1800s. So we're talking about something that's just being recycled and rediscovered, right?
It's not time repeating itself, it's humanity repeating itself. And that ain't suspicious to nobody.
Kevin Hart. You did so much to get to where you are in your career. Just to most likely watched the shit crash and burn. If y'all didn't know already, Kevin Hart just closed down all 4 of his locations to his food restaurant called Hart House. That's not by coincidence. Y'all know he was attending them Diddy parties, right? Not just one time, I'm talking about multiple times. He loved it there. Y'all can even search on the web one of the footages from when Kevin Hart was there doing live commentary. Had girls in bikinis and shit, ain't no problem with that. But it's the shit that happened in that video before they cut it. Y'all go look it up. Kevin Hart's wife is considering divorcing this man because allegedly she got footage from one of the Diddy parties that Kevin Hart attended, and she did not like what she seen, bruh. I'm talking about it was some crazy shit. So then more recently, he did an interview where he was talking about why him and Cat Williams had beef, and he said it was over Tiffany Haddish or some shit like that. But no, that's not the case. You know why y'all had beef. You did what they wanted Cat Williams to do. I'm gonna keep y'all updated on this situation. Hit that follow button. Share this, like this. It's getting spooky.
You do what the big boys tell you to do, you'll get that check.
Cancer is one of the most peculiar gifts on earth, but we have been taught that it kills everybody. I've been doing this for 15 years. I've never seen one person die of cancer. I've seen people die of the allopathic treatment of cancer using, the chemotherapies and the radiations and things like that. But I haven't seen somebody naturally die of cancer. When you look at cancer, they talk about a tumor. And this is what I've been asking all of my professors at school. If cancer is a disease, then why can a man, not a female, but a man that get a tumor test positive on a pregnancy test? The same as a woman that's getting pregnant. Why is a tumor is the exact same identification as the placenta? And then you got to start studying the placenta in embryology. The placenta is created because the body lacks oxygen, and the baby want to make sure it secures oxygen and secures phytonutrients for it can grow throughout its embryonic process. Same thing a tumor do. A tumor grows when the body is in a state of hypoxia, when the body doesn't have oxygen. A man with cancer right now can go get something called a HCG test. A HCG test is basically it's a human choriogonadotrophin test, where you can pee on a pregnancy test and it'll show up positive. We know that men can't get pregnant,
right? But
why is this man testing positive for pregnancy when he got a tumor? Because it's the same thing. So when you look at a tumor is like a human trash bag. And what it does is the body is so unique and the body is so special that it will create this fleshly trash bag and put all the toxins from the bloodstream and from the interstitium cells of the body into it. And then it will grow until you change your diet.
The healthcare system would panic if the masses get tuned into natural remedies.
At S4, that the Mantis people didn't want any humans in the room.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And I was like, oh, that's two weird things there. You said the Mantis people, and then you said they don't like us.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like we're inferior. They don't want us.
Well, the other interesting possible spin on this is like you have Harold Malmgren, who is, presidential advisor to JFK, LBJ, Nixon, and Ford, saying that he was briefed on otherworld technologies by Richard Bissell, who we know is the deputy director of the CIA, and founded Area 51. And so that's like the founding of Area 51 is dealing with otherworld technologies. This is early on. This was like early 60s. So, and like, I think the Area 51 was founded in the 50s. So like my guess is Occam's razor that like otherworld technologies was like part of the founding of Area 51. It wasn't like 8 years in. Now we have otherworld technology. We're incorporating it at Area 51.
They needed it to be hidden.
And before Area 51 was formed to do U-2 spy plane testing, it was an atomic test range. And we know where UFOs show up, right? So like the Nevada test site is, I think not just serendipitously, I think very deliberately created around this sort of stuff. And then you have to ask the ontological question, like, is there a maybe space program or, aerospace program where the aliens are working with the humans side by side? And I had an interesting conversation with Hal Puthoff where he sort of hinted at something like that being possible.
When I hear about the Mantis people, praying mantis comes to mind, but If you heard that term before, let me know in the comments.
Was the hood actually created by the government to oppress people? Watch
I believe
this.
the idea of the project or the hood is a byproduct of MK Ultra. For one, these places are hundreds or even thousands of miles apart. The hood in Atlanta is like the hoods in LA, which are like the hoods in Chicago, which are like the hoods in New York. How can you be hundreds and thousands of miles apart but yet so similar? It's the same mentality and the same activities. Well, before the proliferation of phones, you had rap music. And a lot of rap music, they promote alcoholism. Alcohol suppresses the central...
Listen.
Just like the drugs that were administered in MK Ultra. One of the researchers, his name was Donald Cameron, and his two main techniques were deep patterning and psychic driving. Now, with psychic driving, he would play these short phrases over and over and over again, just like a hook, over and over and over again. But he would also administer them a sedative. He would give them a sedative to make the hook more long-lasting. His whole goal was to break down the identity, because with the identity comes the defenses. And if somebody has the defenses up, you can't control them. You can't use mind control on them. And the whole goal of MK Ultra was to discover different mind control techniques, right? So promoting alcoholism and then playing rap music with short phrases over and over again would surely break down somebody's identity and give them a new one that you can control, one that you can track.
I could see rap music and the hip-hop industry being part of the MK Ultra system.
Dabble in witchcraft. And this is serious. Parents are selling out their children today and don't even realize it. So when you take your child and like even to these Disney movies, Disney is nothing but witchcraft. 14-year-old, I think, and she was being taken out of her bed at night and being taken out of her bed at night, taken under the water and spirits. She'd go underneath the water repeatedly, and then she'd come back. And so when they were doing deliverance on her, so that's snatching her soul too, by the way. It's spirit guide taking you, or you can. It's not really astral projection. Spirit guide literally taking you out. So she said when she was under the water, she said there were some of the characters, and she said the ones I don't know which ones they were, I don't remember, from Avatar were under the water with her. So who made Avatar, the movie Avatar, which she saw some of those characters under the water. So if Disney makes Avatar and they know these characters like water spirits, how does Disney know how to do this lest they're witches, warlocks, wizards, divinators?
Ooh, that gave me goosebumps.
Me being the conspiracy theorist that I am, back in the day, the Rothschilds, and I think it was World War II, that they used all of those church bells for ammo.
So they destroyed the bells?
They destroyed the bells. The bells gave off a 432 hertz frequency daily on the hour. And so it was giving out healthy frequencies.
That's cool.
And if you don't have anything to combat, when they started Big Pharma,
yes,
and this is really down the rabbit hole, but when they started Big Pharma, they used petroleum products in their pills. Every single pill has a petroleum product in it. So people are like, oh, I'm anti-oil. That's totally fine, but did you know that every single pill in the pharmacy contains some sort of petroleum product?
Here we go again. You crazy people and your towing issues. What is happening? Uh-oh.
You got so lucky. Oh, those cars.
Oh, right into the truck.
That's insane. That truck was minding its own business. But that's it for the video. Thanks for kicking it with me. But before you leave, smash the like button and sub up, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.